Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend? Why you're here and he isn't?
Why don't we start with you telling me what the Constellation is?
Very well. This is a private organization dedicated to exploration. Space primarily, but also anomalies throughout the settled systems. It's inherently dangerous work, so if one of our own doesn't show up as planned, then we tend to have questions. Speaking of which, where is Barrett?
You know, you would, and then here's the thing that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't Barrett let them know that we're coming? I mean, I thought they have like interstellar communication and all that. Or, you know, record something for us to show. I mean, see, I mean, it's just like... we could just be telling lies, and why would these people believe us at all, you know? Who are you?
Sarah Morgan, Chair of Constellation. That means anything you discussed with Barrett is my business. Now, will you please answer my question?
It doesn't matter. I have your artifact.
Excuse me? I think you might have us confused with some cutthroat bounty hunters guild. Bosco, verify Barrett's location and status.
Currently, assisting the miners on Vectera following a Crimson Fleet attack.
This is just typical. Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some random employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Walter.
And if we hadn't insisted on installing those emergency protocols, I guarantee you this rock breaker here would be halfway to Neon.
But that didn't happen. He's here with the artifact.
Thank you, Mateo. Now, let's focus on what's in front of us, shall we? What happened when it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything?
How many times has this happened? Who else had these visions?
We think it's anyone else who pulls one out of the rock for the first time. Why? We're not sure yet. So if you wouldn't mind adding another data point.
There's bright lights and music.
Interesting. Similar to Barrett's description of the experience, with less embellishment.
Are you hearing this? Do you all believe me now?
Whether it happened or not, let's sit down.
If this is the greatest mystery in the universe, why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
Gentlemen, can we please focus? Noel, I think it's time we tested your theory.
Right. Let's see. We know the artifacts react to each other. The pieces we already have move when they're in close contact. Now, if we add this new one to the two we already have...
The artifact. If you could place it on the table here.
Mothman?
We're all waiting on you.
Sorry there isn't time for longer introductions, but we need to see the artifact.
If you could put the artifact on the table.
Please, we need to analyze what you found.
That's it. Just like the others.
Into a hatchery. We thought there were only two of them at first.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves.
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're coming together, it means there's a set.
Built by an intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Patrick?
You're on, Walter.
Well, if we had all the answers, it wouldn't be exciting, now would it?
Not to take away from the moment, but what are we going to do about our new friend?
So, are you ready to get to work? See if exploration is the life you want to lead in this little universe of ours?
Come, they haven't been exploring. You want me in Constellation? What does that mean? What's expected?
We're all here because we're committed to exploring space. Humanity may have settled the stars, but that doesn't mean we should stop diving into the unknown. Beyond that, you'll be expected to use your own judgment, just like the rest of us.
How much do you know about the artifacts? What are they?
Individually, they're just odd hunks of metal, another oddity from the uncharted reaches of space. As to what they are, what they're building, well, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
Alright, I'm in. Six up any old fucking random person. Alright, I'm in. Tell me what happens next.
You should take some time to get settled in. Introduce yourself to everyone. Some of our members aren't here, but you'll meet them soon. Come find me when you're ready. You and I are going to be doing some traveling together. Get your feet wet. And here, I think you've earned something for bringing the artifact to us.
Cash.
In addition to credits, why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head.
Well, I suppose that station triggers more effects itself.
That doesn't sound great, does it?
Take note. Everyone here is worth learning from. Yes.
Only one person can sit at the sofa at one time.
So, Mateo, swiped any new religious texts?
Ha ha. I don't have much time for that kind of thing anymore. So much to do around here, you know?
Right, sure. You're telling me you haven't been on the lookout at all?
If you must know, there's rumors of an 18th century English translation of the Bhagavad Gita that I was following up on.
Let me know how it turns out. Sarah's the best possible person to be running Constellation at a time like this.
Bet you never
Focus,
expected to end up
nonsense.
involved in something like this. Are you doing okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. I don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else. You matter too. You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here. I'm Mateo, theological scholar by trade, but now, well, an explorer like you. It's really good to have you with us.
What brought you to Constellation?
Well, there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation. So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation.
Oh, you and Walter had sex, didn't you? What do you make of the vision I saw?
I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence. Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something? I don't want to necessarily use the words divine revelation, but, you know, If the label fits.
You think this was a religious experience?
Not necessarily, no. But it does kind of have the hallmarks of one, doesn't it? I'm certainly not going to rule it out just yet.
Maybe I'm just going crazy.
You're not, okay? Barrett saw something too, and believe me, if he was willing to admit to it, it was a big deal. Just remember that you're not going through this alone. We're right here with you. We're going to get to the bottom of this. We just need more data, which means more artifacts.
These artifacts all came out of caves.
Second one was on Kazal, buried the same as the one you found.
But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in storage, masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust?
Take care of yourself.
Oh, you can't talk to him from back here.
Well, I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line.
I've been called worse.
Still doesn't excuse it. My frustrations lie more with Barrett. Not the first time his shenanigans have jeopardized one of our ventures. Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we? Walter Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation, and oft-times grumpy old man. Welcome aboard.
Just watch the grumpiness in the future.
Now, I've apologized. It's on you to accept and forgive. I'm sure we'll argue again. That's what relationships are. Breakage and repair. By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing, testing alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need.
Yeah, the company is Stroud Eklund.
We're most well known for ship manufacture. No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud Eklund. Unfortunately, our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels. They covet them. The bastards. I tried to convince the United Colonies we can help them out there, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards. And those old salts are stuck in the glory days.
Do you think the vision I had means anything?
Up until very recently, I'd likely have dismissed it as, I don't know, hallucinations. But now, I'm not sure what to think. I don't suppose you have a history of this sort of thing, do you? We can't always continue this some other time.
You mean, have I seen something like this before?
This or anything else. You'll have to forgive me. I don't know you as well as the others here. If you weren't so new to the group, I might already know the answer.
Oh, sure. I see lights and hear music all the time. It's a non-stop party in my head.
Well, clearly the sarcasm center of your brain is intact. I'm no scientist. I leave that to the likes of Barrett and young Noel there. But I think we can all agree there's something unusual going on here. Frankly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in years.
What's your role in Constellation?
Me? Well, I'm the wallet. Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Matei, but I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here.
This isn't where I'd expect to find a CEO.
Funny thing about companies, you build one sturdy enough, it doesn't need you there all the time to prop it up. Stroud Eklund functions quite well on a day-to-day basis, leaving me time to devote to more esoteric pursuits. For years, I was captivated by the writings of Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks. I finally decided to do something more than admire from a distance, and so now I call the lodge home as much as anywhere else. Bye.
That was intense, wasn't it? The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noelle. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us.
How long have you been working on all this?
Well, Constellation's been around forever, more than 50 years now. But we only became aware of the artifacts recently. Barrett discovered the first one about 2 years ago, right under our noses. And he was the one who got this all in motion. It's a shame he isn't here to see this.
The vision I saw. What do you think that was?
Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something, an energy surge, some other phenomenon.
Barrett saw something too?
He did. At the time, well, it's Barrett. We weren't sure if he was kidding around. Clearly, he wasn't.
Whatever I saw and heard, it wasn't coming from me.
Unfortunately, that's what a lot of people report in these situations. I'm not saying you didn't really see anything, just that it's really hard to determine after the fact. It's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right?
I was wondering about other types of exploration work besides the artifact.
Of course. There's plenty of planets out there that no one has ever set foot on, and everything we learn about them is valuable. We have a board where we post anything specific we're looking for. A type of alien flora or fauna, or a planet with a specific quality, like if it's primed to have life but it doesn't yet.
You seem to know a lot about these artifacts.
Oh gosh, no. I mean that's flattering, but really we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us.
Let me know how I can help you learn more.
Well, right now nothing's on the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition. I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right? Speaking of, if you're going to be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands.
How will organic resources help with learning about the artifacts?
I can't be certain that they will, but more data points are always a good thing. I don't want to rule out anything that could provide a breakthrough. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep.
Sarah said, I've got some organic resources for you.
Great, let's see what you have.
I do. These are for crafting, it says, so I don't know. Like, say we give her 1. What's she gonna say? We're just selling it? Oh, she's just a vendor. It wasn't like a special quest where you provide it to her and then she would give you something fancy or... Sarah said something about a place for me to stay.
Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour. Right. So you've seen the library, obviously. Walter's quite proud of the collection, but Mateo has made more than a few contributions. Gardens are out the doors there, if you need a moment of quiet contemplation. Emphasis on the quiet part, at least usually. Let's head upstairs. Sebastian Banks, Constellation's founder, had this place built decades ago. It was a big to-do at the time, but most people in the city have forgotten what year.
I hope you are satisfied with the quarters available to you.
So this is the bar. Usually no tender, so help yourself, within reason, of course. Now let's see about that room. You're in luck. We were almost at max occupancy already, but there's still one room up for grabs. It's been nice having the place so full. Okay, this'll be you. Common room on one side, so that'll be quiet, and Mateo on the other side, so maybe a little less quiet. I'm sure Sarah has something planned for each of us, so I better get back to it. Don't want to keep her waiting too long. Enjoy! I hope Barrett makes it back to us. I know he gets into trouble all the time, and everyone just sort of accepts he'll be fine, but still. Stay safe, okay?
Let me just hear what this lady has to say before I go.
I am at your service, Captain.
So, are you ready to get to work? Or was there something else?
Well, what do you know about the artifacts?
Not much, but you've seen them for yourself. It doesn't take a lot to realise we're dealing with something extraordinary. Just what that is, we'll have to figure out. It's what we do.
How well known is Constellation?
I don't know what you've heard, but I can imagine. First of all, I think you can dismiss any stories about us no longer existing. I don't believe in smearing our name everywhere we can. Exploring the universe, charting the unknown, that's what counts. Besides, having a little mystery gives us room to maneuver. A fixed reputation could fence us in a lot of ways.
What is Constellation? What do you do?
We're explorers. Humanity has always hunted for knowledge in the unknown. We just take that a little more seriously than others. We were founded decades ago by a man named Sebastian Banks. He wanted a small group of people from all corners of the settled systems dedicated to the biggest question of all. What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for.
Why is the biggest question out there is what's out? What is out there?
Asking us to unravel.
I mean, supposedly we have already conquered the stars. We can go anywhere we want as long as we found planets that can support life. So why is their biggest question is what's out there? You know what's out there. An infinite number of fucking planets and galaxies and potentially the universe. And that's what they're curious about when they can travel distances like beyond the boundaries of galaxies.
Is there something wrong?
I'm ready.
We're going to be doing some old-fashioned detective work. The artifacts are relatively inert once they're out of bedrock. That means people can pass them around, not even knowing what they are. I've been letting my contacts know to be on the lookout for strange metal objects. Get back a lot of noise, usually, but a tip from the UC Vanguard sounds promising.
Other people have artifacts?
We have to assume that we're not the only ones to have stumbled into this mystery. But most people aren't going into space looking for the unknown. They're looking for places to settle, resources to extract, territory to defend. An odd-looking rock or a single strange hunk of metal wouldn't mean much to them. That's why Constellation exists, in a way, to put pieces like this together.
The UC Vanguard?
A volunteer force that helps defend the edges of United Colonies space. They're always looking for recruits. Lots of retired veterans and dangerous professionals mixed in with part-timers who barely have a laser cannon welded to a hull. My contact is in the recruiting office, so he hears a lot about what the volunteers are up to.
Legwork never pays off quite the way you expect.
You've done this before, eh? Wise words. We'll watch each other's backs. We'll be fine. But it's not just that. I want to take this opportunity to see how you handle yourself, and for you to learn more about us. I'm going to be sticking with you for this. We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
What do we get out of this anyway? Constellation have a salary?
You mean besides the ship, the robot, and a place to stay all rent-free? We do have some funds we can disperse from time to time. Not to mention, I think we can get you a proper suit. We're explorers. We keep a lot of equipment on hand for that purpose. So the more you work with us, the more we can share what we have.
Got it. You and me until we get that artifact.
We'll need to head to Mast. Check in with the Vanguard recruiting office where my contact works. And listen, whatever you were before or whatever you do once you're out there, I don't care. So long as you don't bring UC security to our doorstep. Every member of Constellation is their own conscience. Understood?
What do you mean? You don't care if I steal as long as I don't get caught?
I mean, Constellation has a roster of members who haven't always been on the right side of their respective society. We're risk takers. Some of us have seen the inside of a jail cell more than once. If you join us, it means you're committed to our mission. In exchange, we give you latitude in your choice of means.
Sounds reckless. An organization should have rules.
Those are the rules. Advance humanity's knowledge to the best of your ability. As long as you do that, I'm not here to judge you. Now, let's you and I get over to Mast.
Ever since I got here, this has felt like home. These people are family. I hope it feels that way for you too.
You talking to ghosts, Noel?
I know everyone's excited by the artifacts, but we need to be as objective as possible and be aware of possible negative effects. See you later.
Captain, now that you are a member of Constellation, I am at your service. No additional protocols necessary. Also, given the likelihood that you will be out in unsettled space, it might be beneficial to go over exploration outpost development, in case you ever need to build a base for field research.
How long have you been part of
I
Constellation?
arrived along with many material goods purchased by the group's previous chair, Malcolm Livingstone. Despite several significant system replacements and upgrades, I have been online for 43 years.
You miss Barrett.
My primary function has been to support and protect Barrett during his travels. I am currently unable to do so. That is as capable as I can be of missing anyone. I believe Barrett would find your question amusing.
Now your job is support and protect me.
As per Protocol Indigo, which Barrett invoked on Vectera, your identity has been successfully added to the list of humans considered essential and more valuable. There is no cause for concern, Captain. I am and will remain at your service.
Outpost development? What do you mean?
The exploration of an unknown planet can be a major undertaking. By building an outpost, you will be able to construct scanning equipment, resource extractors, and defenses. It is even possible to set up multiple outposts capable of manufacturing, allowing you to build advanced equipment.
How do I know if a planet has the resource I need?
A planetary scan will reveal the presence of key inorganic resources, although rarer elements will be harder to find without training. And while a scan may detect the presence of life on a planet, you will have to analyze the native plants and animals yourself to know what compounds they produce.
What kind of advanced structures could I build?
The scan booster is the most obvious, as it will enable you to detect landmarks and other points of interest from further away. Beyond that, extractors will allow you to collect raw materials of various types, while fabricators enable the manufacturing. A particularly prosperous outpost may even warrant the construction of cargo links, allowing you to share resources between other outposts you have built.
Sounds useful. I'll try it next time I touch down on the planet.
The blueprints you need to construct an outpost should already be on your watch. It will automatically connect to any available materials for construction in your ship's cargo.
I could use you on my crew, Vasco.
Captain, I will proceed to my assigned post.
Oh, we can have two people manage your crew, review and change their assignments between your ships and outposts. Different crew have different skills which enhance your ship outpost or outpost. Oh, you can put them in the outpost as well. Okay. What? Oh, so there are 2 slots on your ship. What is his current... Oh, he's at the lodge, it says. Okay. Okay, I had enough. I'll have to play this later again. So, what's the deal with followers versus? I thought the robot would follow you too. Wait, hold on. So how do you get to your companion screen? It's not here.
We need to talk to John Tuala in Mast.
How do you know there was an artifact on Vectera?
You can thank Barrett for that, if he's still around to thank when this is all said and done. Honestly, he took this seriously before any of us. It was at his urging that we started doing deep space scans. I will admit, it was something of a shock to see Barrett taking anything seriously.
Do you mind if I ask some personal questions?
Sure, go ahead.
He enjoys that too much. Is there anything you'd like to do for fun besides exploring?
Exploration is my entire life. I consider it both a career and recreation. That being said, I will make a confession, but you have to promise to keep it between us. Before I graduated from school, I was in a band. And no, I don't mean the school band. I mean a rock band. We called ourselves Ironic Comet. A ridiculous name, I know, but we were just a bunch of teenagers getting together and having fun. And before you ask, no, I wasn't the lead singer. I actually played the drums. The band never really went anywhere, of course, but those were good times, and I remember them fondly.
What do you consider your areas of expertise?
You mean apart from being the chair of Constellation for the past 5 years? Well, let's see. I pride myself with my aptitude for astrodynamics, calculating optimal trajectories for grav jumping. That's been quite useful in the past. And as far as planetary exploration, my area of expertise is botany. So don't worry, I won't let you eat anything that might put you in the hospital.
Now it gets interesting. Do you have any religious beliefs?
My parents considered themselves to be enlightened, but their lives were so busy they rarely pursued their beliefs. By the time I was old enough to start questioning these things, the idea of following any organized religion was almost an afterthought. It's not that I don't want to believe in anything, it's that my scientific mind is often at odds with my spiritual center, having been out there in the Starfield, seeing all those magnificent wonders with my own eyes. I need answers, not religious theory. I'm sorry if that disappoints you, but don't worry. While we're on this journey together, I fully intend to respect your religious beliefs.
But why is she saying, I'm sorry if that disappoints you? You know, you would think that by 2330, well, we already had conversations about this, but you would think that there would be more atheists or agnostics by then. You know, if humanity is capable of traversing the stars, there's at that point, you know, because if someone's really religious, then what you're gonna do? If we can really settle like other planets, you're just gonna stay here then because your religion only covers like planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, fuck them. Leave them behind. Leave them on Earth. When Earth is dying, just leave them here to die with Earth. Perhaps that's the best way to end religion. That's all for now.
Oh, okay then.
So she's not religious. So I guess that boy that young man, he looks very young. He's probably like in his early 20s or something. The theologist. So he might be religious, or he could just be. He might just be interested in the study of religion. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're religious. So that would be interesting, I guess, once that comes up with that guy. Yeah, she has more
is there
stuff.
Something wrong? Not at all.
Yeah, there's nothing else.
Goodbye.
There. Oh.
It's you and me from here out. Let's finish what we've started before we go our separate ways.
Oh, she's not gonna be happy with that. She's like, oh, you want to kick me out already? Anyway, so we'll just stop here for now. Yeah, the conversation, like with the other characters, have been like so boring. Until we get to this like religious question here with her.
How can I be of service, Captain?
Oh, both of them were coming along. Okay, nice. Okay. Two companions. Okay. Wait, is he going back to the ship?
Good day, Captain. Hello, Captain. I believe this is a process known as small talk. It is not my specialty, but I will do my best.
What's your read on Barrett?
It is impossible to read Barrett. He is neither a book nor a block of code. If you are asking for a summary of my observations on his behavior, I will provide one.
Did Barrett make you?
No, I was manufactured by a machine. However, Barrett has modified my programming substantially. I have advanced linguistic capability and navigational skills. I warned him that I would require an extra millisecond to process information with his modifications, but he did not seem to mind. Apparently, my capacity for conversation makes me a more entertaining travel companion.
He almost got me killed, right?
I have only seen Barrett kill his enemies. If you do not number among them, I surmise it was accidental. What you are suffering from is likely a bad first impression. I suggest consulting Barrett on the issue at once. Barrett tells me a bad first impression is the hardest thing to break. I believe that is because he has never tried to break a diamond.
Do you have any idea what his story is?
Barrett has not shared many personal details with me. He finds me a poor conversation partner. Despite repeated attempts on his part, I do not understand the concept of gossip.
Have you been traveling together for long?
My internal clock tells me that it has been years since Barrett and I began traveling together. I have traveled much of the settled systems in his company.
He doesn't seem like quite the character. He does seem like quite the character.
Based on my understanding of Barrett, I believe he would be flattered by that assessment.
He's not asking the real question. Your question is Barrett gay? That's what you want to ask. I'd like to know more about what makes you tick.
You may ask me anything. I am programmatically incapable of keeping secrets.
How did you become part of Constellation?
Constellation recovered me from an abandoned lunar robotics factory on Earth's moon, where I was manufactured. I am told I was in quite a state of disrepair. Barrett elected to refurbish me after the discovery. Since then, I have been reprogrammed to be useful to Constellation.
How did you get your name?
Constellation named me after the Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama, who resided on Earth in the 15th century AD. He explored his home planet by way of its seas. Barrett tells me he was quite an accomplished explorer. I am inclined to believe it, as that is a compliment Barrett normally reserves for himself.
Do you remember anything before you were programmed?
Some data from my time on Earth's moon remains deep in my motherboard, but I do not frequently access it. Very little of what is in those files would prove useful to modern spacefarers.
You were built on Earth's moon?
That is correct. I am a first-generation Model A robot. As such, I was manufactured on Earth's moon. Modern lunar robotics products are manufactured elsewhere.
It's a good thing they were able to fix you.
Constellation is an exceptionally driven and intelligent group of humans. I would expect nothing less of them. I am powered by wheels and cogs. They are responsible for any ticking that emanates from me.
Do you enjoy working with Constellation?
That is a difficult question to parse. I do not experience human emotions such as enjoyment. However, I have been kept busy since Constellation acquired me. That satisfies my directive to be as helpful as possible for the duration of my existence.
Do you miss the lodge while we're traveling?
In a geographical sense, the lodge cannot be missed. It is easily accessible from the New Atlantis spaceport. But I presume that you are using miss in this context to mean long for. In which case, my answer is no. I long for nothing. Barrett, however, regularly complains about missing the lodge's amenities during our travels. This has led me to the conclusion that it is a place worth missing.
Yeah, that sounds like something Barrett would say.
It would seem that spending an extended period of time in Barrett's company has resulted in an improved ability to calculate his speech patterns. Perhaps someday I will also be capable of emulating yours.
How much do you know about humans?
Constellation has seen to it that I possess a near encyclopedic knowledge of human history, art, culture, and science. May I answer a question for you?
What kind of human music do you like?
This is a difficult question to
This is
parse.
an interesting
I
conversation.
do not experience enjoyment. However, I find that the music of ancient Japan has a pleasantly mathematical sound. The same is true of the works of European composers from the Baroque period. I have dedicated significant time to processing these compositions and understanding their structure.
Do you know any human jokes?
I am looking at one. I hope that was a suitable response. Constellation did not equip me with a sense of humor. I have done my best to mimic Barrett's.
What was the greatest invention in human history?
Logically, I believe the correct answer to be the airplane, followed shortly by the computer. Humans could not have become a spacefaring species without them. Illogically speaking, I am inclined to believe that books were your greatest invention. I have spent a good deal of time processing works of science fiction. They make good case studies in how your species could have made a mess of its entry into the stars in different ways than you did in reality.
Do you speak every human language?
I have been programmed to comprehend all modern and ancient human languages. The only exception is body language. My body is crafted from reinforced metal, and therefore incompatible with such forms of expression. I am prepared for your inquiry. I will endeavor to provide a satisfactory answer.
Can you tell me more about Lunar Robotics?
Lunar Robotics is a manufacturing company. They are most notable for creating Model A robots. Their headquarters was once located on Earth's moon. It was evacuated during the cataclysm that rendered Earth uninhabitable. Today, Lunar Robotics products are still found throughout the settled systems, myself included.
How does traveling with me compare to traveling with Barrett?
I find you to be a more measured and logical captain than Barrett. It would be quite difficult for another human to be more reckless than him. My likelihood of expiration due to corporeal destruction has been significantly reduced since coming aboard your ship. You should consider this a success. I am relieved that your curiosity has been satisfied.
He's gonna go to the ship. Because if you go back in here, he's not gonna be in here.
We're here. Perhaps we should check in with Mateo or Noel.
Yeah.
Remember, you're representing all of us out there.
Oh, is this a shortcut? Oh, nice. What happened to the robot? He fast traveled. Yeah, because he would have been like right here.